Okay, so if you're a producer that's frustrated and you're struggling, maybe you're stuck in the loop, maybe your tracks aren't sounding professional enough, maybe you're struggling to get your tracks signed, or maybe you're just a producer that wants to have a different insight into making a track. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Allan Morrow, and I've been releasing tracks on the likes of Armada, Vandit, Future Sound of Egypt, and many other big labels within the scene. I've also been lucky enough to have support from the likes of Armin van Buuren, Paul van Dyk, Paul Oakenfold, and many other big players within this industry. So I know how frustrating it can be when you're watching a tutorial and it seems like everything is just sort of falling into place. This is not one of those pre-planned tutorials where sounds have already been pre-selected that I know work. We're going to be doing everything from the ground up, so you're going to see the sound selection. We're going to be going into idea creation, so we're going to basically spend some time creating ideas to build a track around so that you're not just then getting stuck in the loop. The videos are divided up into different sections, so we're going to be looking at kick and bass, we're going to be looking at percussion, we're going to be looking at acids, intro plucks, melody writing, pads, effects, percussion effects, atmospheres. We're going to be looking at transitions, automation, arrangement, mixing and mastering. We're also going to be looking at sound design towards the end, so I'm going to go into each of the synth patches and I'm going to show you how each of those sounds are created in detail so that you can then use those sound design techniques in your own synth if you don't have the particular synth that I use in the course. So everything is done from the ground up, and I think one of the major things with this course is the thought process behind how everything is kind of done and the reasons why. So with it being in real time, you're going to see, you know, things that work and what don't work. You're going to see things that have been created and then maybe deleted and changed later on, and the thought process around why that happened. So if you are struggling with production and you're wanting to build more confidence in the studio, as I say, this is not a paint by numbers course. This is a course to make you your own producer so that you can go off and feel confident when you're in the studio making your own tracks. Thanks a lot for listening. I hope you enjoy the course, and I'll see you again soon.